Hey y'all, welcome to Diary of Angela. And today I just did a video, but I have been thinking to myself that I wanted to do this too, because I'm realizing that a lot of us are having problems with our kids. If it's not one, it's all of them. Or if you only got one, it's that one. Okay? And I know for a fact that I parent my kids differently from the way I was raised and the way like certain I had certain some of my family members parent their kids. Um, but where I went wrong was thinking that all three of my kids were the same. If anybody asks me about how I feel about being a mom of three, I always say that was my biggest mistake, thinking that all three of my boys would be the same. Okay, so I got three boys, a 5 year old, one is about to be six, and then one is about to be nine. My 9 year old was so easy. Goodness. He was the what is it? What is he? What's the word I'm looking for? He Goodness. Basically, I was forward, okay? I was thinking all my kids was gonna be like him. He was so easy. Um, and then for one I had hella help with him. Okay, so the second one, he just have a mind of his own. The middle one, he really have that middle kid syndrome, and I'm just like I'm constantly learning that this is really a thing. He struggle with having an identity for himself. So I'm like constantly trying to get to know him and constantly trying to remind him, no, Colin, you are not Kason or you are not Kaji. You do what Colin want to do. That's just what it is with Colin. Colin is he's stuck in between. My youngest, y'all see my face. The youngest one is why I'm here today. Do you hear me? My youngest one. Oh my goodness! In the last video, I mentioned that I was taking a break. I tried to do like 3 days because I was just trying to work on my parenting because he kept getting in trouble at school, and it got to the point where one of the people at the school was even like referring like to my take him to try to get him evaluated. And for me, I don't take it personal at all because I do feel like some kids need to be evaluated, and I'm always quick to run and get them evaluated. But in the space I am now, I'm learning that everything is spiritual. I'm learning that everything is spiritual. So I'm not fighting no flesh. I'm not fighting no spiritual battle in the flesh. I know that that was just the devil on my kid. I know that there was the devil trying to get to me, and so I'm not going to get him evaluated. That's something I would have done. Uh, Don't get me wrong, I done got him evaluated before, but not for behavior. He actually was in like speech therapy and all that. I don't play about that. You act just a little bit slow. We're going to get you checked, okay? So all three of my kids took speech therapy, but um, yes, I just in a space where I'm not stuff like that. The way he was behaving, he was getting in trouble for like anger management type of deals and kicking shelves over, hitting, kicking, yelling at the teacher and stuff like that. And the thing is with us, we gotta know that all of this is spiritual. We gotta know that all of this is spiritual. So for me, where the space I am today, and that's why I'm here today to help some of y'all, I'm not fighting no spiritual battle in the flesh. No, I'm not going to get him evaluated for that. I took a step back and I tried to do 3 days. And I was on Pinterest. Honestly, I was on Pinterest and um I don't mind sharing this Pinterest board with people. I've been sharing it with a few people. I don't mind sharing this Pinterest board with people because it really, really helps. The way I was raised, some of the things we say and do, it don't work for all kids. It doesn't work. My oldest two, I can say don't do this or you finna get a whooping. And they not gonna do it no more. That youngest one, I say don't do this or you finna get a whooping. He gonna do it 2 or 3 times. He gonna take his whooping for it and do it again. He don't care. He's really tough. Okay. So this is a whole different ball game for me. But look, I started studying these different pins on Pinterest on parenting that help you with parenting, and I started changing the way I parent. When I tell you, when I started practicing and seeing some of these things, these the stuff that I was studying, when I started using it, it started working literally by the next day. It started working literally by the next day. So first I said I want to start here. I feel like when I was just writing, I realized that this is gonna have to be a series. Like y'all, it's just gonna have. I'm gonna have to just give it to y'all as I get it. But I'm gonna start here. I got way more, but I'm gonna start here. And first, I want to start by saying, in a lot of cases, it's not the kid, it's the parent. It's the parenting. It's not the kid. The way I grew up, if you defiant or and stuff like that, middle school, high school, oh, they locking you up. They locking you up. I was locked up before. They locking you up, okay? But I wasn't locked up for a long time like some of my siblings. But I ain't have to learn the hard way. They had to learn the hard way. They was real bad. Um, but uh, it's not the kid. It starts with you. It really do start with you. And like I said, I'm so glad my baby he just turned 5. I'm so glad he's so young and I realized this. And this is another reason why I'm here today to help. I want to help because, y'all, this is our future. This is our future. And like I said, I didn't want to go get my baby evaluated because then another thing is when you go and get them evaluated, if they do say he had behavior issues or any of this, the first thing they're going to offer is medicine. We don't want our kids on medicine. I really can't think of too many people that took medicine as a kid that's doing really well today. It's only a few. So we don't want to get our kids drunk out on that mess. That's kind of like the other stuff like this is stuff that can be fought that can only be fought and erased in the spiritual realm. God can remove these things from your children, okay? I'm witnessing this firsthand, okay? So the thing is, Um, it's not your kid, it's you. I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you. It's you. It's the way you parent. You're not giving that kid attention, and I'm guilty of this. Like every time I start getting too focused on me, I kind of push my kids to the side. Uh, because I give them so much. I give my kids so much of my attention, and sometimes I just feel like they just so needy. Like I want to raise them to be a little bit more independent. So I kind of step away. But when I do step away, sometimes I get too carried away and I like it's time to come back now. It's time to get focused. Okay. It's time to focus back on them kids. Okay. So the first thing I wanted to do today will kind of tell y'all like things that's true. Things that's true. It says, why do my child's behavior trigger me? You can be somewhere and your kid will do something. For me, I don't think I ever had this problem personally. Uh, because I always kind of had patience with kids. So my kid doing something somewhere, it didn't really bother me too much. But like now, like back then it didn't bother me, but like now it's ridiculous because they in school, he in school, and it's a new school, it's a new environment, whole new environment, all of that. So I'm really just getting to know him as a kid, himself as a human himself. So the thing is, it's like why do your child's behavior trigger you? Is because you like one of the reasons your child behavior trigger you is because you have unrealistic expectations of parenting. Your parenting, the way you feel like it's supposed to go, is not how it's always supposed to go. Kids are only human. All that yelling, cussing, do this, do that. When I tell y'all I changed all of that around, and I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it, but it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference. Um, oh yeah, I'm gonna go back. That's what I was saying. I stepped away. I tried to do it for 3 days, but I ended up practicing this, and I kept it going. I kept it going, so I stepped away from everything for except for YouTube. I was still on YouTube. I kept it up, and I ended up staying away for 30 days. This is how good this stuff was working. I'm just like, okay, okay, like I'm getting like God was really working, and not only that is because I was changing myself, and not only do it help the kid, it helped you, it helped your emotions, it helped Oh my goodness, you just turn into a different person right in front of your kids, okay? And so yeah, a lot of the things we think, a lot of the ways we think parenting should be, that is unreal. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it's unreal, but it's not something that a child just get. The child has to be raised a certain way, and then they get to that level. The child is a reflection of you. Y'all don't like to admit that. Where I grew up and the way I was raised, they don't like to admit that we were a reflection of them. I'm me now, but we were a reflection of them. And it's no shade to nobody. They simply didn't know, and that's okay. That's another thing. Let's forgive some of y'all parents. Some of y'all need to forgive y'all parents because they did what they could. They didn't. They're not doing what they know. They didn't know no better. Okay, so start there. But yeah, okay. Another thing, why your child behavior trigger you is because you worried that people gonna judge you. You only worried that they gonna judge you because you judge others. Sorry, I hate to break it to you. I've been there too. You're only worried that they're gonna judge you because you judge others. Keep your mouth shut and you won't even care about what the next person got on. I mean, got going on. Oh, goodness. Got going on, okay? Worry about you, and you won't. They won't what the next person kid do or any of that will not move you. This is something I learned not during this time, but I learned this when I first started my journey. Like not to take stuff personal or not to get in the mix of other people and what they do with their kids, and and not only that, that's judging people anyway, judging people all the way around. When you stop judging people, you start focusing on yourself. Like you don't. There's no embarrassment. It ain't no embarrassment. You're only embarrassed if you judging people. That nobody wants to admit that either. Y'all are embarrassed because of the way these kids acting because you judge other parents because of how their kids act. Okay, so boom. And another thing, another reason the behavior trigger you is because you feel out of control. You feel like this kid doing this, and you want to just feel like you the boss. And this could trigger so many emotions such as anger and cause you to goodness. That's why people be whooping their kids a lot. They be mad. You're not supposed to get mad at what a kid do. And a lot of times we get mad at what the kids do or get mad because the kid doing certain things that we haven't even taught them not to do. That's something else I learned a minute ago. I'm like, bro, we ain't even I'm mad at him for doing this way, and I haven't took the time to teach them. That's another thing. We don't take a lot of time. We haven't been taking a lot of time with our kids like we're supposed to. And when I say we, I'm talking about this generation, this whole generation. We expect our kids to know how to do everything once they get a certain age. No, you have to teach those kids and you have to train them. This is something you have to teach them over and over and over and over and over. There's not nothing they just, oh, you 5, so you should know how to tie your shoe. No. You gotta teach them to tie their shoe. Just this is how we think for some reason. I don't know why we think like that, but we do. Okay. Okay, so another reason is so yeah, that is you feel out of control. That's why your child behavior be triggering you. Okay, so another reason is your child reminds you of the very things that you don't like about yourself. I just learned that I do have self control because at first I lacked self control. So I just learned that I do have self control back in August. I learned, okay, you are ready. You do have self control now. You there. You, who gonna touch you? So I just learned that in August, back in August, like the journey I've been on, I just learned that I do have self control. And so learning that, okay, so listen to this. Learning that I do have self control only means that I didn't have self control at first, right? And not to say that my kids were just raised in no bad household, but I just want my kids to be the best version of anything they want to be. You hear me? Like I want my kids to be equipped mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Like I want my kids out here conquering this stuff. I want to teach them all the stuff that I'm learning now, and I do teach them. So yeah, my youngest, he was at school and he was getting in trouble for like hitting stuff and all this and all that. And it made me think like, dang, once you start when you really on a journey and stuff like that, you start looking at yourself. So I started thinking like, what do I do when I'm mad? I would go. Sometimes my kids piss me off. I go in there and say, "Sit y'all ass down," and slam the door. That's why my son was at school throwing the blocks. It all makes sense. Okay, it's not rocket science. It's just like I didn't have self control at one point, and even though I didn't whoop them and stuff like that, just me slamming the door or me walking off, just all of that is so toxic. It's so toxic, and you're raising toxic human beings. Okay, so yes, this is part one. I'm gonna just have to make this a whole deal. I'm gonna have to just keep going and helping people as I learn because we all need these things, and these kids are our future. Okay, they are the future. So help your kids first. Work on yourself. Step back. Ask God to reveal to you things that you need help on. Ask God to reveal those things to you, and then you start working. Then you gonna start working on yourself, and you gonna start seeing your old behaviors in your kids. Okay. Um. Once you start changing, it's gonna be old. So you're gonna see your old behaviors in your kids, and it's gonna disgust you. That's where I am. That's where I was, cause he doing good now, and I'm gonna have to I'm gonna do more videos, and I can tell y'all some of the things that I started doing. But yeah, when you work on yourself, some of the things that your kids do are gonna disgust you. You're gonna be like, where did you come from? I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. You know, all this and all that. But for me, I took it to the spirit realm. I went and dug deeper. I healed myself first. And then now I'm working on him. The main kid I'm talking about is my youngest. Don't get me wrong. And that's what's so crazy. This stuff that this stuff I'm finna give to y'all in these next few videos, these people have studied these kids down, okay? When I tell you this does not only work for one kid, but it worked for all three of my kids. It worked for all three of the kids. It don't just work. It helps my youngest tremendously, but it helps my other two in the small areas that I feel like they need help in. It's amazing. These people have really studied kids, and it's time for us, especially as it's time for us to get a grip because this is our future, okay? And you gotta want more for your kids than you ever wanted for yourself. Anything I do today is for my kids. Anything I do today is for my future. I'm not out here playing around, okay? I refuse to be out here playing around. I refuse to play with my future. I just refuse. So, yes, that is a few reasons why your kid's behavior triggers you. And I'll definitely be back with more videos on how you can help it or how you can change or things you should look at just to try to help you as I help myself. And please know that these things not only work for my kid, but not my one kid, but all three of my kids, which means I'm sure it'll help with y'all too, with y'all kids too. Okay. So yes. Don't forget to come back, subscribe. What was that? Don't forget to subscribe and come back and see what else I got for you because this is so important. And that's it for this video. I'm D'Angela, a messenger of God, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye.